Just got out of the COVID pandemic, as I'm sure that we're all aware of. During that time, um, everyone started wearing facial masks. It was a big deal to stop the spread of COVID, and that was proven to be efficient in preventing the spread of the pandemic. However, we also noticed that it's harder to understand people that are speaking to us because of the facial masks. And so what we wanted to determine is just how badly is this affecting our speech intelligibility, our understanding of what's being said. Can we still hear people when they're talking?
And we took about 55 college students to participate in this study, and we had each of them sit, in a sound-treated booth, and we played different recordings to them to measure which sentences they heard well and which sentences they heard poorly. So each participant would listen to one speaker who spoke with both a masked version and an unmasked version, and they would write down exactly what they heard when they listened to the recording. And then they would listen to speaker two, who would do the exact same thing, different sentences, of course, and they would write down what they heard, masked versus unmasked. And then we just looked at the accuracy of each of those individual sentences. So we picked out different words that had a lot more density, like adjectives and nouns and verbs, and we graded each participant's results based off of how many word density words they got right versus how many they got wrong. And then we just, plugged that into all the statistical analysis stuff, and we just analyzed those results.
In comparing the masked versus the unmasked condition, we found that the accuracy for the masked condition was significantly lower than the unmasked. And then we looked at the masked condition, and we also compared neighborhood versus non-neighborhood words. And we found that people that were listening with the masked condition, they made more errors in neighborhood words, which would be something like heat and meat. So it was interesting to see that because of the mask, they were getting a pretty good judgment of the word, but couldn't make it out correctly. So overall, we found that the masked condition the accuracy was significantly lower. And when comparing neighborhood versus non-neighborhood words, we found more neighborhood words with the masked condition. The findings tell us, and how we want to move on is, we tested college students whose hearing is probably pretty good. So we want to look at now the older population who, may have hearing loss, hearing aids. And obviously, if college students weren't able to pick up some words with a mask on, then people with hearing loss in the elderly population aren't going to pick up on that as well. So we wanted to look at that population next.